yes, whose story mentions people mispronouncing and butchering the pronunciation of her name. She comes to us from Colombia. She came to the United States to get her master's, and evidently she liked it because she's still here. She's been telling stories to lots of different audiences, and I don't want to tell you any more about it. Let her come up and do it.
Well, hello. There we are. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. It's really it fills my heart with joy seeing that we pretty much sold out. So that's pretty. That makes us happy, right? That makes us happy. Yes. So today I wanted to share with you two short stories, and I normally don't name my stories, especially if it's a personal one, but this one is an exception. And this first story is called Me the Mexican, but I'm Colombian. I never gave much thought to Mexico. I knew they had good rock bands and mariachis. I also knew that for many migrants, Mexico was el puente, the bridge into the US. So my perception of Mexico was neutral. I didn't think more or less of them. They were on the map, and that was it. But that changed the moment I came into the US, because all that gringos seem to know about people that look like me is that we had to be Mexican. Indeed, who else speaks Spanish? It appeared that the moment I crossed the aerial border that declares you are in US soil, my Colombian passport lost its validity, and I became a Mexican, a beaner, one of those. People would ask, so how are tacos in Mexico, Carolina? I don't know, I've never been to Mexico. So where are you from? Colombia? What is that? A city in Mexico? Oh, don't be difficult, Carolina. Thus, most of my conversations began with me negating my obvious Mexican ancestry. At first, I found it cute, but then it began to bother me. I seemed to disappoint them. What kind of uncivilized food do you eat wherever you are from? If it's not fried chicken, biscuits, or tacos with salsa, what else is there to enjoy? Soon, an intriguing thought began percolating through my frontal lobe. Could it be that I was once a Mexican, but I hit myself in the head and forgot all about it? Am I impersonating someone I'm not? Who am I? Where am I from? Are Gloria and Dario my real parents? Was I abducted by aliens long ago? Maybe. I was a tiny and cute Mexican baby. And someone snatched me from my cradle while it rocked and took me down south to be raised by those Colombians who fed me arepa, sancocho, aguapanela, y jugos. Those Colombians who also spoke of La Llorona, the weeping woman, but preferred La Patasola, and gave me the reality of salsa, cumbia, y reggaeton, cartels and drugs, instead of guacamole, rancheras y revolución. I had an identity crisis. Where am I from? So I did a practical thing. I got my DNA tested from Ancestry.com and discovered that half of my genes come from all around the Americas, South and North, whereas the other half come from across the Atlantic Ocean and included a pinch of Irish, North African, and Persian. Well, that only aggravated my identity crisis. Where am I from? Suppose my genes come from different cultures. Am I a multitude of beings? I know! Back to basics. Who am I to these gringos? An immigrant, And I must be Mexican because Mexico stretches from El Rio Grande all the way to the South Pole, La Patagonia, as many once thought. Now, question, if Mexico is that big, why aren't they a superpower? You tell me. Another mystery. Well, the next step in this identity research was to dig into my most recent roots, my Mexican raíces. It didn't matter what my birth certificate or what the DNA test said, but what the beholder thought I had inherited. Así que leí, I read cuentos mexicanos, stories del ayer. I watched documentaries and listened to their music. Y me enamoré. I fell in love with their tumultuous legends, their strong adelitas, their cumbia and songs. Me empapé en su cultura. Oh, I liked Mexican culture so much that one day I surprised myself by saying, I think I'm Mexican. No mames, qué chido. Órale, señor. Oh, I like Mexican culture so much that I visited Mexican restaurants just to speak español. Buenas. Sí, ay, gracias. And to ask them to explain what are carnitas, flautas, pozole, horchata, and tacos al pastor. Remember, I was fed Colombian food since I was young. I didn't know what those were. I liked it so much that some of the characters in my story sometimes speak with a distinctive Mexican accent. I can't help it. My invisible Mexican roots just pour in. They stretch from within outwards with their gods, wisdom, and myths. And from Mexico, I crossed into Guatemala and journeyed through Belize and other Central American countries. I dove into Caribbean myths and later made a stop in each South American país. And one day it hit me. I am Latina. I am a full-blown Latina. Que sí. Eventually, those tales took me back to the American Southwest, to Spanish colonizers and settlers, and to all the stories of all those migrants that crossed the border at different times. And I knew it. I am a nomad. I am a breeze. I was so enamored with my multiple and expansive identities that I did not put my application for the US citizenship until 10 years. After 10 years of living here legally, I was afraid to lose what I had found, my new histories and stories that, although painful and complex, they were beautiful, they were honest, they were me. Today, my Latino roots grow en el aire, in the air, but stretch deep into the soil of this vast continent. I understood that I've been living in a diverse forest among transplanted and native species with similar dolores, pains, paths, and questions, similar misunderstandings, yet gorgeous tales pointing in different directions. And when one lives in a forest like this, it's only a matter of time before one grows green leaves with brownish trunks, yet unique in their features, songs, accents, and beliefs. Yo soy de aquí, de allá, I am from here and there. My trunk is Colombian. My legs and feet are Latin American. And my arms, my head, my skin are colored by all the cultures and backgrounds of those who have shared a story with me. Thank you. Thank you. And since I truly fell in love with Mexican culture, that is why I ended up publishing my first book, which is a collection of 2 Mexican or Aztec myths, creation myths, the Hungry Goddess and the 5 Sons. Now, we cannot give all the credit to the Aztecs. we'll have to go into history for that. But technically, they are the ones who told the story last. Let's put it like that. And the book is outside, and it was illustrated in the same way the Aztecs or the Mexica, which are some of the ancestors of the current Mexican people, the way they used to illustrate their pictographic books. So it's very accurate, I would say, in that aspect. What I did new was that I put it in English and made it rhyme and also combined some Spanish into it. And I'm gonna share with you the first story, which is only a 3-minute story. And the name of the story is The Hungry Goddess, La Diosa Hambrienta. In the place where the spirits lived, there was once a goddess in need. Oh, I'm hungry, tengo hambre. Comida, food, calambre, I'm hungry. Oh, she was hungry all the time. Perhaps because she had mouths in her wrists, mouths in her elbows, mouths in her back, even in her ankles. Annoyed by her constant wailing and voracious appetite, the other spirits declared her out of line. They said, "She can't eat here anymore! Que se vaya! Take her to the shore." In those days, the spirits lived in the void. The world below had not been created at all. Yet there was something underneath that seemed like water. How it got there, nobody knew, but it could fill up her hunger. The two spirits assigned to carry out the mission were Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca. The brothers seized the hungry goddess and dragged her down to the waters below. And then they tossed her in. Splash! But when she didn't sink, the brothers turned into snakes in a blink. And then they grabbed her from hands and feet and began squeezing and yanking her, in all 4 directions so hard that she snapped in 2 sections. The brothers couldn't believe it. Oh no, this is bad. ¿Y ahora qué hacemos? What do we do? Pero no nos lamentemos, don't cry. Not knowing what to do, the brothers picked up her bottom half and flew back without a laugh. Then they presented the broken body to the spirits above, who, by the way, were not surprised at all. Oh, what a shame! But do not worry. We will use this bottom half. With this bottom half, we will make un cielo, a blue sky. Veremos. We'll see. And then, to console the poor goddess, the spirits promised her to use her upper half to create the world in 1 rhyming paragraph. And so, from her skin sprouted grass and flowers. From her hair, forests with mystical powers. From her eyes, pools and reels. And from her shoulders, mountains and hills. The spirits thought, "Por fin, no más llanto. El mundo será un encanto. At last, no more cries. The new world will be a delight, and she will be satisfied." But they were wrong, because soon after that, mouths began to sprout everywhere. Moaning, crying, and asking for bait. Oh, I'm hungry. Today, people say that when it rains, she drinks. That when trees fall or flowers shrivel, she eats. That she quenches her thirst for blood when people die in battle. That her mouths are opening and snapping shut like a hungry dragon. And other people will tell you that when the wind blows, you can still hear her crying for flesh and bones. So watch your step, my friends. Thank you so much.